Hi everyone, hope we're doing alright. We have just reached 20,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Honestly, I am very grateful. When I first started this YouTube channel, for me it was almost kind of like a side dish to what I wanted to do, which was write crochet patterns. And I am so lucky to have all of you guys support my work. Honestly, I just wasn't expecting it. Thank you guys so much. For today's video, I wanted to answer some of your guys' burning questions. So I asked you guys on Instagram to share any questions you had. Before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I post new crochet content every Sunday, so make sure you're not missing out on that. My first question comes from one of my favorite creators, which is Cozy20s. If you don't already follow her, make sure you do so. She asked me what crochet projects do I like, but I never actually would try. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like there aren't too many patterns that I wouldn't try. I've been crocheting for long enough now that I've actually tried out a wide range of different things you can crochet. And if you guys know me, you know that I'm not scared of using a small hook. Recently, I've been getting into more kind of complex vintage patterns, which I actually have really enjoyed. But I do think the one thing that I could never bring myself to make, but I actually would really love to have one, is the Persian tile blanket. Now, I see this all the time on my social media. It is beautiful, I cannot lie. The thought of making that amount of granny squares that are that complex, or I suppose it's not so much complex as you have a lot of color changes, you have a lot of rows that kind of change in between the rounds that you do. Like, it's a pattern that I feel like would really work my patience, especially because I don't love granny squares. I mean, I say that, I am actually working on a granny square blanket. This is what it looks like. I am actually gonna film a video on this. I'm just gonna build up this granny square until it's around the size of blanket that I want, and then I'll probably do rows of granny squares either side. But if you guys are familiar with my channel, you know that granny squares really aren't my thing. I think it's to do with the fact that you have a lot of repeating steps. I suppose you can make all your granny squares at once and kind of start with the first row and then do all of them at once. But I don't know, no matter how I approach a granny square project, I never truly enjoy it, so I really don't see myself making that blanket. But honestly, I might see if my boyfriend wants to make one, just because I do love the finished project. My next question is, what type of yarn do I use for different projects? Now, I feel like choosing your yarn is kind of a skill that you develop over time. And obviously with anything in crochet, a lot of this is going to depend on what you normally like to make. For me, I make a lot of garments, and just as a person, I run quite hot a lot of the time. So one thing that I pay a lot of attention to is the material that the yarn uses and how breathable it is. Just because a lot of the pieces that I make, I wouldn't want to be too warm because they're layering pieces, and if I use something like acrylic, it would probably make me run too hot. And then on top of that, I would also consider what stitches you're using and what the yarn is going to do for that stitch. Yarn such as cotton is going to make stitch detail really clear, so if your stitch has a pattern that you want to be really obvious, then maybe I would use that. So you want to think about the project that you want to make and kind of the key elements that's going to make this project good. And then you want to pick a yarn that's most suitable for those attributes. My next question is, what is the crochet project that I had the most difficulty doing? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I really couldn't come up with an answer for this one because I feel like I've never truly been stuck on anything in crochet. One thing that I want to pride myself on is I'm not the kind of person that will try and jump too ahead of my current skill level. One thing I find within the crochet community is a lot of people don't treat crochet as something that you have to progress in. I see a lot of people want to learn techniques that they don't actually have the foundational skill to be able to execute properly. Obviously, that means you're going to have difficulty doing that skill. But I will say, for pattern writing, I'm currently working on a distressed mesh vest which uses a repeat stitch pattern. I'm not going to lie, writing that has been quite difficult just because there are a lot more kind of mathematical and logical things that I need to think of. But I will say there are some vintage patterns that I've tried to follow that I've found quite difficult. Maybe I would say the vintage patterns that I followed in the video where I tried to make as much home decor for my apartment in one day. I would say actually those are the hardest things that I've done, but kind of actually thinking about it now, I probably need to challenge myself more. So maybe that's my sign to make something difficult soon. The next question that I've been asked is, how do I go from an idea or a sketch to a finished project? Honestly, I could film a whole video on how I do this, but it's much like the process that I follow when picking out what yarn I want to use for a project, where you have to think about your project in a way of what attributes are going to make your project look good or work better, and what do you need to do in order to aid that function. When it comes to garments, we're thinking about fit. So does anything need to taper in? Does anything need to taper out? Obviously, we would use decreases and increases within whatever stitch we've picked to aid that. But then there's also things like, how is it going to drape? Does it need to be stretchy? Those kind of attributes are going to be helped by not only the stitch that you use, but also what material you use, the hook size you use. So I would say get really clued up on what your hook size and your yarn size informs when it comes to what you make, and just things like that. If I remember right, I do have a video that outlines this kind of stuff, so I will leave it linked below. There's also research that you can do. So for example, if you want to make something super structured, maybe you could Google how to make crochet more structured. Obviously there are stitches that you could use, but you could also add something like a structural kind of like wire or something to help aid that. Or you could even use something like fabric hardening spray. So I guess the long story short is you really want to be clear in your mind what attributes are going to make your project work or look good. And once you've got that, you should be able to develop a plan where you have individual things that you've sorted out to aid the things that you've decided need to work in whatever kind of way. My next question is, what inspires you to make new pieces? Or what sparks inspiration or creativity for me? Well, I'm not going to lie to you guys, this is something that I actually might do as the first episode of my podcast, is just how to keep yourself inspired. The way that I get inspired by things is kind of a little bit whack. I always approach inspiration as something that needs to be quite far off of what you're eventually going to make. For example, the jumper that I'm wearing today, my first iteration of that was really inspired by the water in Animal Crossing. That kind of pattern really informed how I did those stitches, and obviously that kind of distress stitching from there, I've used it in a lot of different ways. But I mean, if we look at what I've made today using the distress stitch, it doesn't necessarily look like the inspiration, but all of my distress stitching has really started from that point. I would also say that I get a lot of inspiration from nature and kind of how things are spread out kind of randomly. So if you look at kind of animal prints, if you look at forests, or just any area that has a lot of nature, you can kind of get a lot of inspiration there. But honestly, I don't get a lot of crochet inspiration from crochet. And not only do I think that's more fun because you kind of have a bigger variety of things to be inspired from, it also helps you inform work that feels very much your own because you can pinpoint where you get your inspiration from. So I would stop thinking about inspiration as something that's within the realm of what you're doing, and rather find aspects of things that are outside of crochet that you really like, and then emulate that within your crochet work. There were kind of a few other things that I feel like have really informed my work. Second gen K-pop really actually informed my fashion quite a lot, so it definitely has informed my crochet work. Definitely architecture within kind of like old British manners. Sometimes I get inspiration from kind of like a feeling or a sensation as well. So yeah, a lot of things that don't really make sense together, but work together to create an aesthetic that I really enjoy. The next question that I'm going to answer is, what are my plans for the future? This person has also asked where I get inspiration from, but obviously I've already answered that. But as for my plans for the future, I am obviously currently doing YouTube, and I sell my patterns on Etsy and Ravelry. Obviously, I want to continue with my pattern making, and I want to continue posting on my social media. Hopefully within the next few months, I do want to get my own website sorted so I can sell my patterns from there. Thank you to all you guys who are checking out my patterns. I really appreciate all of you guys for supporting supporting that side, because I know a lot of people love my tutorials, but for me it's so much more personal when someone buys my pattern, just because I've spent so long, like multiple months, working on this one document. But apart from that, I do actually want to start selling my crochet pieces, which I feel like I would do in kind of two categories, where I would have one which is just kind of like makes that I don't wear anymore, or things that I've made that I know I won't personally wear. But then I also want to do kind of themed collections. Maybe I do them twice a year, where I make really elaborate custom pieces, because that is one of my goals, is to start making bigger custom orders for people, and I suppose it's quite hard to kind of get that ball rolling. But if I could start making like stage costumes or even drag costumes, would be something that I would really enjoy. I would love to start doing that, just because I don't really have an excuse to make elaborate pieces for myself. And then also, once I've kind of got a better grips on the business side of this whole crochet thing, I do want to start creating written patterns that are associated with a certain cause or charity, and sell those patterns in order to raise money for that individual charity. Now, I'm kind of toying with how I would want to do this, because it's not something that I can do right now. Like, have a project to obviously raise money for a charity, but that pattern be associated with the cause that I'm raising money for, in order to like also raise awareness as well as money for the charity. So that is a goal that I do want to reach, hopefully within the next year. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. And then if we're going long term, I would love to write my own book. Right, you guys, that is going to be it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this more chill video. Honestly, it's just sometimes nice to chat with you guys. As I mentioned earlier, I want to start my podcast soon, so if you have anything you want me to talk about specifically, please let me know. But as I say, I think the first episode will be something to do with inspiration. Thank you so much for watching. I do want to just take a moment to thank you guys again. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. If you guys have anything you want to see from me, please let me know. But apart from that, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.